Hey guys, my name is Iasmina and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to do a review of one of the books I've read recently, and that is Loveboat Taipei by Abigail Hing Wen. So I usually do sort of recent reads wrap-ups where I talk about a bunch of books in one video to keep it short, but I did say that I wanted to sometimes do sort of full one video reviews for single books if I feel like I have enough to say, and I definitely want to do more of that, so this will be the first video in this kind of series talking about books in more detail. Of course, I'll try to keep everything spoiler-free, so just for your information, there's not going to be spoilers, but I will talk a bit more in depth about what I thought about this new YA contemporary release. It is quite a fairly new release. I think it came out last month, if I'm not mistaken. If you're interested in my thoughts on this book, please stay tuned. Otherwise, I have plenty other videos about book recommendations and videos about writing as well, so do check those out if you're interested. But let's go into the review of this book. First of all, that cover is gorgeous, don't you think? I really like this cover. It's really cool. I'll just put it here. So like I said, Loveboat Taipei is a recent YA contemporary release, and it's kind of a coming-of-age story. It's a very diverse coming-of-age story, and it was a lot of fun. Like, I didn't expect this book to be as fun as it was, and I really enjoyed reading it. I think I gave it on Goodreads like 4.5 out of 5 stars, just to give you an idea of the rating, and I'll go into the story and what I liked about it and things, and what I didn't like about it. There were a couple of things I didn't like, but for the most part I really enjoyed this book, and I would highly recommend it. But let's get into the story. So Loveboat Taipei follows the character of Ever, who is a second-generation Asian American. So her parents moved to America and then they had her, so I think that makes her second generation, I'm pretty sure. And so she grew up in a pretty strict household. Her parents kind of decided early on that she should be a doctor, and so they kind of planted this seed into her head and have helped her since she was young to sort of pursue that dream. And so at the beginning of the book, Ever is looking at all of the letters, all her applications that she applied to all of these colleges, because she's 18 now, so she's gonna go to college next year. But really, Ever doesn't want to be a doctor. That's not what she wants. Ever is a dancer. She's really good at dancing, and she's very good at coming up with choreographies for dancing as well. But obviously that's not something that her parents approve of. But she secretly applied to a arts academy that is called Tisch, I think that's how you pronounce it, and from what I remember, I think it was just a general sort of arts academy. I'm not sure if it was specifically focused on dancing, but she would have gone there to study dancing, and she got in. So she's looking at all of these letters, and she didn't think that she would get accepted at this college, but she did. So now Ever doesn't know what to do. She is scared to, of course, tell her parents that she wants to go to become a dancer when they've kind of been pushing her to become a doctor all this time, and they would never approve of her being anything but a doctor. And so she's struggling with what to do, and then she goes out with her best friend and they practice dancing, and then her mother shows up and her father, they show up where they were practicing, and they had found the acceptance letter to this dance academy. And they are furious, they rip the letter apart, and they tell her there's no way that she's going to that, and she should write them back saying that she can't accept. And then they tell her that they've already enrolled her into a summer program in Taipei, Taiwan, and that she will be going there to spend her entire summer before college. And they make a big deal out of it, saying that, you know, her mother sold her precious pearl necklace in order to get her into this program, and it's a very elite program, and she would be going there to study Mandarin, calligraphy, and biology to help with getting into medical college. And so she is shipped off to Taipei in order to participate in the summer program. But as soon as she gets there, she realizes that there is much more to this summer program than she expected. Of course, she expected it to be this strict, sort of almost nunnery, you know, summer school, basically. However, it is definitely not that. So as soon as she gets a roommate, her and her roommate are going to find their rooms, and one of the supervisors busts these two people, like, in the middle of doing the deed, and Ever gets a full view I'll just say that. She gets a full view of what's happening. So that's the moment when she realizes, hold on, this is more than what I thought this was. So this is kind of the setup of the book, and the whole idea is that, you know, they're there for the summer program, but there's more to it than it looks like there is in the beginning, and the roommate that she's assigned sort of becomes her friend, and, you know, they're gonna go partying, clubbing almost every night, and this roommate is already making a list of who she thinks is hot based on the guys that they've already seen. So it's that sort of scene. It's a very sort of partying kind of thing, right? And now I'm gonna say, I'm not sure if this is considered a spoiler, but part of this book is a romance, and there is a love triangle. And if you guys know me, you know I'm not a fan of love triangles. I don't think that they're believable, at least most of the ones I've read, and I'm not a fan. However, I think this one actually worked much better than all of the ones I've read before because of the setup, because this is meant to be this sort of hookup, you know, party place. It sets it up from the beginning that that's kind of what it is, and so it kind of makes sense. I'm not gonna spoil more than that, obviously, but I just want to let you know that there is a love triangle involved. It's a lot of fun. I honestly, the writing is really beautiful as well. All of the rich sceneries and descriptions I really fell in love with. Just all the descriptions of Taipei and things like that. I thought it was really well done, and it pulled me in. The character of Ever is really cool as well. She has a deep personality, and she cares deeply about her family, and even though she's kind of using the summer to rebel against all of the rules that they have set for her entire life, she still loves them deeply and does not want to disappoint them and does not want to make them sad. There's a lot of talk about family and friendship and things like that. It also talks about mental health, although that was kind of one of the points where I subtracted from my rating because I feel like it was brushed off. I wish it would have gone a bit more in depth into those topics because of course they're very important topics, and it's not okay to just brush them off, just sort of mention them fleetingly without really explaining much. There was also another thing that I didn't like regarding the friendship between her and her roommate that I don't want to get into because that would be a spoiler. But there was something there that I wasn't a huge fan of how it played out. I'll be honest, everything else I really liked, and it was steamy. Like, it was steamy. It actually felt the chemistry between all of the people, and not just the love triangle, but between Ever and every single other person, whether it was a friendship or more. You could really feel the chemistry. You could feel that these characters were real, and I really enjoyed that. But yes, it is very steamy for a YA romance, and this is something that, you know, I don't read a lot of romance, but I read a lot of YA contemporary, and it's one of these things that just gets brushed off, and whenever there is something like that involved, it just kind of fades to black. And it still does that in this book, but it's there is more. I'll just say it shows more happening before it fades to black. And just in general, it has this whole sort of, you know, flirty, sort of steamy aspect to it, with all of the relations and all the things that happen in this book, and so I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and I think it was well done. And also there is a scene in this book, I don't know if I should mention it. It's not an important scene at all, it's just something that it's still stuck in my memory. They go clubbing one night, and at this club there's this random snake whisperer who makes shots out of snake blood, and so he has a bunch of snakes, and then they pay him for the shot, and Ever drinks it, and it's like, oh gosh, I still can see that scene in my head, and like I felt a bit sick honestly reading that, but it was so strange and unexpected and vivid that I like that about it. Obviously I don't like the content, I don't agree with the content, but obviously that's part of that culture, and that's, you know, that's just how it is. Yeah, it was a bit intense. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit intense. But I think that's all I'll say without going into too much spoiler. I want to keep this video relatively short, but I just want to give you guys a recommendation. If you enjoy YA contemporary, and especially YA contemporary romance, I highly recommend this book. Of course, I will leave a link to the book in the description if you're interested. But that was it for my review of Loveboat Taipei. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy this idea of me doing more single in-depth reviews on books. I will of course do more in the future if I feel like I have enough to say about a particular book. And also, if you guys want, I can go back through my catalog of books that I've already read and make separate reviews. So if you're interested in something like that, and if you have an idea for a book or a series that you think I have read or you know I have read and you want my more in-depth take on it, leave it in the comments below and I'll make sure to film that video for you guys. Otherwise, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will leave links to some more videos at the end so you can watch some more reviews of mine. And yeah, I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye!